Hello YouTube, I'm David.
So I thought that might be a suitable introduction to this video because, as you guys can tell from the title, I wanted to talk a little bit about flatmates. So before I came here to university, I knew that I wanted to be in ensuite self-catered accommodation. So basically you choose your accommodation type and you choose if you want ensuite or not ensuite. That means like if you have a bathroom in your room or if you want to share your bathroom. You also choose whether you want to go catered or non-catered, and that means catered is when you have your meals cooked for you, like in boarding school, and non-catered is where you cook your own meals, so we like share kitchen. So after you've applied to uni and you get accepted and you get the grades and everything, the next thing that you do is you apply for accommodation. So I applied for my accommodation. David! You idiot! You scared me! So I applied for my accommodation. All of the accommodation basically have a page, a Facebook page where you can go and you can like find your flatmates before you move in. So I went on there and I found out who my flatmates were. I suppose at the start I was kind of worried because you literally have no idea who you're going to be living with. And it's only for the first year, but all I knew is that I was going to be living with like between 3 and 7 other people, and we were all going to just live together and we share a kitchen and we like live in a flat. So that could be kind of worrying, I guess. I was kind of like, who are these people going to be and everything like that. So I found them and we had like a little group chat. So we were all talking and everyone seemed really nice, and we just talked about, you know, what you're studying, like what you're going to uni to study, what did you do for A-levels. And then it got to moving in day, and so I think that was good because we all knew each other already, with one exception, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. So we knew who we were sharing a flat with. I was like, oh, it's a flat of 6 people, 4 girls and 2 boys. So I thought, I don't know, it's kind of sort of a good mix, you know. And so it came to moving in day, like we knew who everyone was and everything, and I thought that was really good. So like I said, we had 4 girls and 2 guys, and one of the guys, David, you guys just saw before, he's Irish, and when he first came we literally couldn't understand him. Like, he's from Northern Ireland, and so he came in, he was one of the last ones to arrive on the first day, and I swear that whole first day I didn't know what he was saying. I was just like, oh my god, I don't understand you. But David's hilarious, he's so funny. David studies nursing, and so he's a student nurse, and he's super sweet and super nice. Then the other boy in my flat is Jake. Jake studies chemistry and he's like my really good friend. Well, all my flatmates are my really good friends, but we get on really well. He's an idiot sometimes. He's really mean to me, but I'm really mean back, so it's kind of like a little rivalry kind of thing going on there. But yeah, Jake is super sweet. I remember my first impression of him that he was like an alcoholic because literally I came and just everyone was just drinking so much alcohol, and I was just like, oh my god, you guys are alcoholics. So that was like my first impression of Jake, which was quite funny because now I know him, I know that he's like a really nice person and everything. But yeah, that's Jake. And then the other people that I knew from Facebook, we have Sasha, Katie and Julia. Sasha is just crazy, like you don't even know, like, in fact, I'm just going to show you a video. This is Sasha.
Is that a lie? No, Sasha wins again. You too.
No!
That was good effort, right?
That was excellent.
It's funny because I don't actually know what video I'm going to show you guys yet, but I have so many she's just crazy. She's just mental. But I love her. She's amazing. She's just so funny, and she just makes the whole flat just like alive. I'm pretty crazy too. I think we're all a little bit weird, so we all get on really well. And yeah, that's Sasha. Sasha's from Essex and she studies architecture, which I think is so cool. Like, I look at her, because you know I love art, and so I look at all her drawings and her stuff in her sketchbook, and I'm just like, your course is so cool. So yeah, that's Sasha. Then we have Julia, who I also met on the Facebook group, and I love Julia. Julia is so funny. She's from Poland and she studies psychology. And Julia is just hilarious. Julia is just like, she's weird. Like weird, like me weird, but like in a good way weird. Yeah. It's just so funny. And she always buys, okay, she has a thing with food. So she buys like these really weird foods and then she like eats them and then she doesn't like them. I don't know. Julia's just so funny. This is Julia. And then last from the Facebook group we have Kirsty. I think Kirsty is the person in my flat that I know the least because she kind of goes home a lot. She lives in Leicester, so it's not that far away from Nottingham where I go to university. And she goes home quite a lot, so she doesn't like hang out with our flat as much, but she's still super nice, super sweet. I always see her like in the kitchen, you know, like the kitchen's like the sort of centre of the flat, so I always go in and out of the kitchen and I'm just like, hey, how are you? And Kirsty studies nursing as well, so she's like with David and they like talk about placement together and stuff like that. So yeah, that's Kirsty. And she's tiny. That's like the first thing I thought about Kirsty. I was like, oh, you're so little. She's so sweet. And then the funny thing is about my flat is that when we moved in, we found out that there was one more person living with us. So that was kind of weird at first because we all knew each other from Facebook and then we found out that there was one more person. So that was really exciting. We're like, oh, is it going to be a girl? Is it going to be a boy? Like, who are they going to be? What if they're like a second or third year or something? And it turns out that the person was Becky. Becky is actually slightly older than the rest of us, but she is still a first year student, if that makes sense. And she studies nursing again. So we have 3 nurses in our flat. That's pretty cool. And yeah, I'm so glad that Becky came into our flat. Literally, Becky is just the nicest, sweetest, most caring person that I have ever met. Like, she's so nice, and literally because she's slightly older, I think she has so much more kind of life experience than the rest of us, so that makes her, she's really, really good at giving advice, and if I have a problem I know that Becky will help or do her best to help. Like, I'll just go to Becky with any problem, literally. She's just the sweetest person, and I love you, Becky. So yeah, that is flat 12. Honestly, I love my flat. I think we all get along so well together. I know that's not always the case. Like, I have friends that don't get on with their flatmates, or they get on but they're not like really close. Whereas with me and my flatmates, like, we go out together, we do, like, they're my friends. They're not my flatmates, they're my friends. So yeah, it's just, I think I was lucky in that sense with who I got put with. And actually next year, normally in second year what people do is they will move out of student accommodation and they will get a house with a couple of their friends. And so next year, actually, me, Jake, David, Sasha and Matt, who is Sasha's boyfriend, are actually going to be living together in a house. Woo! So yeah, I'm really excited for that. We sorted that out in October, November, and we went around to look at some different houses in different areas and things, and we found one that we really like. We signed the lease on it and we sorted all that stuff out, so that is awesome. So not only are we flatmates, but next year we will actually get to be housemates. I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, I really hope that this answered some of your questions. I did notice that out of all the questions I get about university, one of the sort of recurring themes is like, where do you live? Like, who do you live with? Do you live at home? Do you have an apartment? Like, stuff like that. So I hope that cleared some of that up. If you guys do have any more questions, you can leave those in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer. Or any other questions about university, I'll try and make a video about it because I want to help you guys out a little bit and answer your questions. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was useful, or I hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye guys.